I welcome you all to our lesson this evening. We are looking at the topic special senses in our anatomy and physiology module in the course, in the certificate course of Gospel Medical Evangelism. We have made good progress so far. We have made strides, and for those who are joining us for the first time, feel free to revisit our lessons and follow them according to their order. Right. So when we talk about special senses, we must understand that these are special. Okay, and we're talking about senses of hearing, sight, smell, and taste. Okay, and all these have specialized sensory receptors, okay, which are nerve endings and are outside the brain. Okay, so you've got nerves or nerve endings outside the brain, of course, into these specific places where you've got these nerve endings for hearing, for seeing, for smelling, and for tasting. Okay, these are found in the ears. So for hearing, they are found in the ears, okay, the nerve endings. For seeing, they are found in the eyes. Okay, for smelling, they are found in the nose. And for taste, they are found in the mouth. Okay, so if you study anatomy and physiology from the book I recommended, Ross and Wilson, 9th edition, you're going to see which particular nerves, okay, support what, right? You're going to all that. So there are a number of, most of them are cranial nerves that also take help in this particular work. The ear is also involved in the maintenance of balance. That's the reason why most people, if they lose their sense of hearing, okay, they lose balance, okay, or if they are beaten, they usually fall, like they are confused, they lose balance. Okay, so in the brain, the incoming nerve impulses undergo complex processes of integration and coordination that result in perception of sensory information, a variety of responses inside and outside the body. Okay, so like we discussed, that the brain is able to process a lot of information, a lot of impulses, okay, and many processes, okay, to integrate and coordinate. Okay, all this information that gets to it, okay, from inside and from outside the body. So let's now dive in and see what we can learn about the ear. So the ear, as you can see from the diagram, so this light part that you're able to see on this diagram, this is the outer ear, okay? This is the outer ear. So you can see it starts from the auricle, okay? Okay, where you've got this, the helix, okay, you've got the lobule, okay? You've got the external acoustic meters, okay? So you've got the middle ear there where the incus is, also the malleus, okay? Then you've got the inner ear where you have all these things, the cochlea, okay? You've got passage to the nasopharynx. That's the reason why you may find that if you put even medicine in the ear, it might even end up coming to the pharynx, okay, or you can smell it in the nose. Okay, so the ear is the organ of hearing, and it is supplied by the 8th cranial nerve, okay, which is the cochlea. Okay, that is the cochlear part of the vestibulocochlear nerve, okay, which is stimulated by vibrations caused by sound waves. So this vestibulocochlear nerve is the 8th cranial nerve of the 12 cranial nerves that we have, okay, in the body. Okay, this is the eye. We can take time to study it. Okay, the eye is supported by the 2nd cranial nerve, okay, known as the optic nerve, okay, which is situated in the orbital cavity. Okay, so the optic nerve is the 2nd nerve that supports the eye, which is the one responsible for the special sense of sight. Okay, and for the sense of the tongue, we see that it has 4 fundamental sensations of taste. Okay, it has sweet. Okay, it has sour, it has bitter and salty. Okay, this is probably an oversimplification because perception varies widely and many tastes cannot be easily classified. So you might have various tastes in the mouth, but mostly these 4 are the fundamental sensations that the tongue is able to detect. The others, it may be difficult to differentiate them or to describe them. However, some tastes consistently stimulate taste buds in specific parts of the tongue. Okay, so sweet and salty, they are mostly at the tip of the tongue. Then sour is in the sides. Okay, bitter is at the back. Okay, so maybe let's just get into these flavors and what they really represent. Okay, so bitter flavors, which are the first tasted in the mouth, help the immune system. So most of the bitter things that we take, you should know that they do help with the immune system. Okay, they aid production of white cells. So bitter things, how they help with the immune system is that they help stimulate production of white blood cells. And when white blood cells are produced, it means you have got extra resource on the defense. It's like you're recruiting more soldiers to help in the fighting and protection of the body. Okay, so that's how this happens. So it can range from candidiasis even up to AIDS. Okay, so bitter things are very good for the immune system. Okay, so bitter things, they also help to burn excess fat in the body, okay, quickly providing the necessary energy. As you know, when you break down fat, it's not only carbohydrate, but also fat produces energy. Okay, so for the very underweight, if somebody is skinny or they're underweight, they need very few bitter foods to be consumed. Okay, and they should be used for a specific reason, like if you're expelling worms and things like that. So when talking about bitters, we're talking about the artichoke, we're talking about olives, okay, where we even get the olive oil. We're talking about the dandelion leaves. Okay, we've got the nasturtium. Okay, and bitters often come in the form of wild greens in spring. Okay, so during springtime or this spring season, you have a lot of you have a lot of wild greens, okay, that come forth. Okay, so these can still be available in summer. They are often combined with aromatics like fennel seed, cumin seed, caraway seed to help cool, calm, and soothe the digestive tract. As you know, it's not always that you need bitter things. So you need some things to cool. So you need these calm, you need these aromatics, right? Okay, so some of the bitters can be consumed to aid digestion. So those that have problems with digestion, I need maybe some leaves of one of these particular bitters to help you with digestion. We owe it to ourselves to eat bitters and sours. The taste helps to distress and calm the nervous system, balancing and grounding, preventing overextensive output of nervous energy. So if the nervous system, for people who are very nervous, bitter things will be of great help because they also they'll balance the nervous system to calm the nervous system. Okay, so that's about the bitter taste. Now we move to the sour. Sour heals and nurtures the liver and the gallbladder. Okay, so this is done by deep cleansing and cooling, making the digestive process largely passive, which in turn has a positive emotional effect. So if you've got emotional issues, sour food, great and ideal for you. Okay, we should understand that a cleansed and cooled liver and gallbladder readily release the positive emotions of joy and happiness. Okay, so even people maybe who are depressed, okay, people who feel low would need sours, sour tastes in particular. Okay, because these will give them some positive emotions. Okay, so these are two important emotions for the well-being of the immune system in general. Sour foods include limes. Okay, you can also have lemons, okay, pineapple, apple cider vinegar. Okay, so someone can be asking, pineapples are sour, so they are sour sweet. Okay, and the bromelain, which is in them, is very prime for digestion. Okay, also scavenging for and helping to finish off half-digested foods. That's the reason why it is even able to expel worms, the bromelain, which is in pineapple, and we use it for removing worms. Okay, so there are foods that can be pickled. You can make pickles using apple cider vinegar. Okay, so vinegar helps to regulate the balance, or help regulate the balanced output of stomach acid, correcting overactive and underactive conditions. So I think last time we were discussing a sister, okay, who has hyperacidity. So we might need to incorporate these sours, okay, pineapples and the like. Okay, so on whichever extreme you find yourself, these are very important sours. So flavor can really be exciting, okay, and chows, should be chilies, okay, which couldn't be eaten raw, can be eaten when softened by pickling process. So if you make pickles, you can even eat the chilies. Okay. talk about the salty taste. So salty foods, they heal and nurture the kidneys. Okay, and as you know, when the kidney is healed, okay, the adrenals, the bladder, the thyroid as well. We discussed the thyroid and what is this system? The system where you have the endocrine system. Okay, so this is like the whole chain, okay, and they're supported by salty foods. So that's the reason why you might not need too much of it. Okay. So salty flavor is in all sea vegetables such as kelp, nori, wakame, okay. And parsley and celery are considered salty and make an excellent dried and sprinkled on substitute. So even for your seasoning, you can use parsley, you can use celery. Do not use too much salt as the kidneys will suffer. The dangers of high salt intake are so publicized that it is almost more important to say these days that a little good quality salt should be consumed. Some people need more than others. Okay, so depending on the treatment, okay, you might need just a little quality salt, not sea salt alone, but you need that balanced salt. Okay, you've got also the spicy, okay, which sums up two flavors, hot and pungent. So if something is spicy, most people refer to it to something which is hot and pungent. Okay, and these, they support the lungs and the colon. So I'm sure you've seen when you've taken hot food that you usually produce a lot of sputum or phlegm, okay, thereby cleaning and supporting the lungs. Okay, and some of these, as well as some chilies or so, they also help to cleanse the colon. Okay, so opening both and allowing them to operate with ease. They help the lungs and the colon to open up and to operate with ease. Okay, so you can talk about hot peppers. Okay, it could be black pepper, those that are hot. Got mustards. Okay, then you've got the horseradish. So they don't only aid the colon and the lungs, but also help in circulation, thereby encouraging the delivery of oxygen and nutrients, okay, which is very important, and the expulsion of waste products and toxins. So you also have neutral tastes, okay, like rice, potato, sago, banana, yam, turnip, okay, millet. These are known as neutral tastes, okay, and they nurture and ground the body, okay, feeding and toning it. They are one of the most unifying of all flavors, providing harmony and balance. So you see that even as you choose what foods to take, you must put into consideration the taste also, not routine or eating as usual. So we need to ensure that we see maybe if you've got anything not very fine in your body, you design or customize your meals to such. Sweet flavor, Brother Enos's favorite, sweet. Okay, so sweet flavor heals and nurtures the stomach, the spleen, and the pancreas, and helps or it improves digestion. Okay, but we must note that it should be used in a balanced way. So you've got some positive sweeteners such as maple syrup, brown rice, barley syrup, also some hot pressed organic honey. Okay, Also, there's date syrup. For those who love dates, you can also use licorice and also stevia, the sweet herb. Okay, peppermint leaf and certain culinary herbs. Okay, so sugar basically inhibits the ability of white blood cells to destroy bacteria. Okay, so just 2 teaspoons. Okay, that's like 1 tablespoon is enough to diminish our immune system response dramatically. Okay, it also consumes calcium, okay, stripping the body of one of its most important minerals. So if sugar is not to be used, then real cane sugar is rich in essential minerals and vitamins and provides a better alternative than most of these sweet things. So one of the reasons why you should not consume a lot of sugar or these non-natural sugars, because they inhibit the functionality of white blood cells. These are soldiers. Okay, that's the reason why some people, when they take high sugar, they will feel sleepy. Okay. Then also you tend to have a lot of joint pains or complications because the calcium is also consumed by the sugar. Okay, we can't proceed without talking about blackstrap molasses, which is sweet and loaded with iron and calcium. Okay, so it's a very good substitute for sugar. Okay, some licorice also, occasionally. Okay, and the sweet herb stevia, which is 300 to 500 times sweeter than sugar, does not feed yeast, fungi, and other unwanted gastrointestinal microorganisms, and it helps improve digestion by stimulating the pancreas. So someone can be sugar not advisable when it is 300 or 500 times less sweet than so stevia is naturally occurring and it has simple sugars. It is used up by the body. Okay, so made as a tea and kept in the refrigerator, a small amount could be added to herbal teas. Both this and licorice are very useful for hypoglycemic people who need sugar boost. So hypo, like we discussed, is low. Hyper is high. Okay, so hypoglycemia, that is glucose. Okay. So we all start life with a sweet tooth. Breast milk is sweet, and as such, it is and is right for this vulnerable entry into life. With the constant availability of sugar reaching huge proportions over the past several decades, sweet diseases have increased, and in parallel to them, mental afflictions. So due to a lot of sweet things, we have so it is not only Okay, can someone confirm?
I don't know whether it's just me, but it just went quiet.
Okay, what was the last thing that you heard?
We were talking about the strep molasses.
Ah, okay. So we're saying black strap molasses is sweet and is loaded with iron and calcium, and it's a good substitute for sugar. Okay, and that stevia is also a better option because it's a herb, and it doesn't feed yeast, it doesn't feed fungi, okay, and other microorganisms that we don't need in the body, like sugar does. So sugar promotes a lot of these things. Yeah, so we say due to the rise. So we are saying due to the rise of the intake of sugar, it has come with it a lot of mental problems. Okay. Can someone confirm, are you able to get me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So it is not just the pancreas, the teeth, or the waistline that are affected, but our whole emotional state suffers. Okay. And these artificial sweeteners, they worsen the condition. Okay. Not only poisoning, but also increasing appetite in many cases. So it is always advisable to read labels in order to see how the food you buy has been sweetened. Never use artificial sweeteners proved to be carcinogenic. Okay, so in the 1970s, there were some things banned by the government of Japan. Okay, so we can do our own research and see which things are not healthy and which sweeteners are carcinogenic as we do our personal studies. Okay, so this is the end of our lesson. I would like to ask if there are any questions. Anybody with a question?
I have a question.
Yes, proceed.
I wanted to know if, can you say something on these molasses and those that are diabetic? Can they use this, or is it a substitute? Can you please clarify on that?
Yes, so blackstrap molasses is in different qualities. Okay, so I think the first grade blackstrap molasses is okay. It's okay. So in most people who are diabetic, the problem is not sugar. Like it is not every sugar. Okay. In most cases, it is the fat that blocks the work of insulin. Okay, not really high levels of sugar, that to an extent where when they take a little sugar, even from a fruit, okay, that sugar will just be in the bloodstream. Okay, it will not be broken down. Okay, and the enzymes responsible for activating the sites for insulin to work, okay, will not be able to open those. As a result, when you take a rapid or a random test of the sugar levels in the blood, you see whatever you take will add to the concentration of the sugar in the bloodstream. Okay, so unlike the general teaching that you should not take anything sweet, on the contrary, we must avoid fatty foods and see if we can have some bitter things to help to burn down the fat. That's the reason why if you've seen on the treatment for diabetes, there is bitter gourd. Okay, so that is something that helps to break down the fat because as we have discussed, the bitters are able to do that. I don't know if this answers you, brother.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the time is 19:24. Okay, so just allow me to, in the next 30 minutes, to do another lesson so that we can catch up. Meanwhile, allow me to request for anyone to give us a song, just one song as we are transitioning. Or we have no singers today.
Sister Caris is not around.
Yes. Okay, my internet is becoming weak.